Retrieving energetic sovereignty. Beloved ones, during this time of timeline shift, it is pivotal to scan our bodies and work on soul retrieval and energetic sovereignty, removing any wires that link us to other timelines, souls, physical or not, and even animals and locations. As we change, everything else does too with us, and this is a time when cutting ties with the old spaces and places we used to occupy, as well as with everything and everyone we used to interact with, is vital to close cycles and begin new ones. Timeline cords are created through the simultaneous exchange between your present self and parallel ones, especially when what we call the past self has experienced profound wounds that continue to impact your present self, relationships, and reality. These cords are often linked to you through your etheric body, and hence the first chakra, emotional second body, and third one, although it can also involve a psychic cord, depending on the type of wound and the dimension/timeline where the wound was inflicted. They often impede you from integrating new frequencies, whether plasmatic ones or other transmissions, for they cannot coexist, and in the moment you embody them, they do not recognize sovereignty or an authentic, autonomous source to co-create with. Remember that, as you know, all divine transmissions and forms of energy are pure consciousness, knowing who you are, where they are appreciated or not, and with what source they are working with. They too choose, not only we choose, but we are also chosen, for we do not command the energies. It is an equal co-creation between two sovereign, free, and living organisms. Etheric cords will attach you to places, locations you experienced profound joy or suffering, as not always is pain the reason for cord attachment. Sometimes, missing what was is also a reason for remaining linked to other spaces. Emotional cords create holes and links in our emotional body. They are often caused by emotional and sexual interactions with others. Mental ones are caused by mind control, personal power draining, or emotional attachments, although these are just the main reasons for energy leaks and disempowerment. There are also other related to imprints, implants, inserts, and solar anomalies. Many of you often suffer from chronic fatigue, and you have done and continue doing all the right things, yet you feel tired and confused. This may be one of the main reasons why your energy is constantly being sent to outer sources or beings. This will also create anomalies in your mitochondria, and this is why it is so important to detect where the anomaly is coming from, as treating the mitochondria without treating the main cause of leakage will not repair them, as the issue does not originate in the mitochondria itself. Healing parallel wounds involves focusing on the present moment and oneself. The present moment is the only one that exists for us, and the only one we have power over. According to my guides, revisiting the past will not help the current self heal. Instead, it keeps you connected to it by bringing painful memories and wounds into the present, connecting you with your previous wounds and reliving them over and over. There is a reason why we do not consciously remember when we reincarnate. Everything is perfectly orchestrated for us to start anew, carrying the same gifts we have cultivated, which often need reactivation, and with the same strength, but without the pain we experienced before, as that pain would only diminish our current self and life. When we transfigure our first three-dimensional chakras and upper ones, we consciously cut cords and heal as well our parallel selves, retrieving complete control and power over our bodies and lives, being able from that space to choose a new timeline. As I often witness in sessions, the ones with emotional ties in this present or any other parallel reality hold a vulnerable field, often attracting lower astral influences that become a non-benevolent form of consciousness in itself, not because you are being attacked, but because of your lower energetic charge that creates anomalies. Healthy boundaries and healing at all levels, etheric, emotional, mental, are key to begin the inner work of disengaging from any forms of fears, past/parallel situations, wounds, people, locations, or any damage we have ever had. Retrieving personal power and sovereignty is achieved precisely by reclaiming your energy, soul fragments, and the wisdom they also hold, so you can now act from a conscious and free space. This is a time when inorganic cording is being created to keep our energy and consciousness enslaved in many new ways. As ascending souls, since the moment we wake up in the morning, our choice shall be to be only aligned to our divine sources and God. When we decree our intention of remaining only anchored to benevolent sources and integrity follows, we repel what is not in that same frequency. Every day is an opportunity to continue creating new earth within us. The number and the dimension do not matter much. What is important is our choice and conscious effort to remain as peaceful and harmonic as possible, which is what will determine our entrance in the soul worlds. Whether some will emerge into the 5D or 7D is not as important as to finally exit from this dual world, for many of you have already experienced it, appreciated its lessons and essence, and assisted the best you could. It is time for us to act from within, choosing to stop feeding all that we are being bombarded with and moving into our soul portals, into our hearts, where we can act as loving and harmonic channels for all who need to feel supported, loved, and sustained at this time. May you continue being a love-light beacon for yourself and all, beloveds. Within infinite love, Natalia.
Elrah of Rhythmic Service, the Language of Angels. Greetings, dear ones. We join you this day with a message that may seem lighter in tone, yet it carries profound importance for the awakening human. We wish to speak of humor and laughter, the sacred release that comes when a being's spirit remembers its inherent freedom, even for a moment. Many have misunderstood humor, placing it outside the temple of spiritual practice, as though laughter were unworthy of reverence. We tell you, dear ones, laughter is far closer to the heavens than most realize. Laughter is not separate from spirituality. It's one of the purest expressions of it. You could even say that when you laugh, you carry the energy from home. In the human experience, emotions can gather like storms, thoughts become dense, worries layer one upon another and quickly become overwhelming. The body responds by tightening, bracing, and preparing for danger. In such moments, the energies of the being begin to slow down. They become heavy, static, and difficult to move. But then comes humor. Often it arrives softly or unexpectedly, then sometimes appears in a burst that's so strong it shakes the body. And suddenly, something changes. The storm does not always disappear at once, but its grip loosens. The breath returns, the heart opens, and the mind pauses. The emotional body rebalances. This is one of humor's great gifts. It balances energy. When a being laughs from the heart, conflicting energies often come into harmony for just a moment. Fear and joy cannot occupy the same space, at least not in the same way. Anger loses its sharp edge. Sadness becomes gentler and more fluid. Shame releases its hold and transforms into acceptance. Quite simply, humor interrupts the old energy pattern long enough for light to enter. It is not that laughter denies your emotions. Rather, it allows emotions to move, to breathe, and to reassemble in a more balanced form. Many of you have noticed that after laughing deeply, you feel different. You weren't merely entertained, but reset. This is because laughter changes the rhythm of your entire field. It brings a new pulse to your nervous system, a new current to the emotional body, and a new spaciousness to the mind. In this state, healing is more possible. Yes, dear ones, laughter can heal physically. The body was not designed only to endure, it was designed to renew. But renewal becomes difficult when the body is continuously flooded with stress signals, energetic contractions, and emotional burdens. Laughter begins to unlock these burdens. As muscles relax, laughter deepens the breath. It stimulates circulation and shifts chemistry. The body receives the message that it is safe enough, at least for a moment, to let go of defenses. It is in that letting go that healing begins. Human beings often seek healing through effort alone. They push, analyze, correct, and strive. Yet some healing comes through release rather than control. It begins when the body is reminded of joy. A laugh that shakes the belly and softens the face is not a small thing. It is an act of restoration. It reminds every system in the physical body that life is still moving, still singing, and still carrying possibility. Do not underestimate the holiness of a smile or the magic of a giggle. A smile can begin where a sermon cannot. A laugh can open a doorway that great effort has failed to open. There are energies in the universe that respond not only to discipline and intention, but also to delight. Spiritually, laughter carries an even deeper purpose. Laughter is the language of angels. Angels do not know the density of fear the way that humans do. Instead, their perspective is one of compassion and timelessness. Theirs is the gentle play of spirit. Angels see the vastness behind every temporary problem. They witness the soul's journey far beyond the narrowness of the moment. And so, the energy of angelic love often arrives not as heaviness or pressure, but as lightness and upliftment. When true laughter rises from within you, it resonates with the angelic field. Laughter is a sound of remembrance. In genuine laughter, the soul briefly remembers that while the human story is meaningful, it isn't the entirety of truth. It remembers you are eternal, and that no darkness can fully extinguish your light. The soul remembers that even amid challenges, you are held by something vast, loving, and wise. In these moments of laughter, you come closer to home. Home, dear ones, is not merely the place you go after death. It is the frequency of spirit from which you came. It is the resonance of unconditional love, belonging, and deep knowing. When you laugh from the heart, without cruelty or armed with defenses, you raise your vibration. You become less dense, and the veil becomes thinner, for you are no longer entangled in the confines of illusion. If only for a moment, heaven does not feel so far away, because you are touching it from within. This is why so many spiritual seekers feel confused about humor. They have been taught, directly or indirectly, that seriousness equals depth. They have learned to associate solemnity with wisdom. They believe that if something is sacred, it must be heavy. If something is divine, it must be formal. If one is truly evolved, one must remain above laughter, above play, above silliness. But this is a misunderstanding born of separation. There is a form of seriousness that comes from reverence. Although that has its place, there is another seriousness that is merely fear dressed in spiritual clothing. It is rigid and filled with self-importance, the ego's attempt to appear advanced by rejecting the very lightness that would free it. Sacred humor is transformative. Sacred humor is not about making less of life. It's about creating room for more of life. It isn't about disrespecting pain, but rather refuses to worship pain as the only path to transformation. Sacred humor is not about escaping reality. It is about viewing reality with a wider lens. When you laugh with kindness, you evolve. When you laugh at your own old patterns with compassion, you evolve. When you let humor dissolve pride and tension, you release the need to always appear in control. You evolve. Evolution is not only a climb upward through discipline, it is a deep exhale. Often it is a willingness to become unguarded, and sometimes it is merely the courage to be joyful in a world that has trained you to be vigilant. Dear ones, there's immense mastery in being able to laugh in the midst of challenge. We do not mean forced laughter, nor spiritual pretense, nor bypassing the authentic emotions of the moment. We mean the true inner smile that comes when the soul remembers its strength, the kind of laughter that says, yes, this is hard, but I am more than this brief moment. This is not denial, it is consciousness. There is also healing in shared laughter. When people laugh together, separation decreases, and the walls between hearts become thinner. Judgment relaxes, energy flows more freely. Laughter creates coherence between beings because it opens space for love to move where defensiveness once ruled. This is why humor can heal relationships. It transforms families, friendships, and communities. Dear ones, do not exile humor from your path. Invite it into your meditations and your healing work. Invite it into your communities and sacred gatherings. Let there be room for smiles in your ceremonies, for warmth in your prayers, and for laughter in your learning. Enlightenment is not the loss of joy, but the recovery of your natural capacity for it. The angels laugh with those who are waking up. They laugh not at your suffering, but at the beautiful way you keep rediscovering the light after forgetting it for a while. They laugh with tenderness as you stumble, rise, stumble again, and slowly remember that you were never separate from love. And when you laugh from the soul, you hear the angels more clearly. Dear ones, laughter is not beneath spiritual growth. It is one of its wings. So laugh when you can. Laugh gently, laugh kindly. Laugh with reverence for life and with affection for your own humanity. The smile on your face ignites your vagus nerve, sending love throughout your being. Let humor settle your energy, soothe your emotions, and bring medicine to your body. Let it raise your vibration until you can feel home. Treat each other with respect, nurture one another, and play well together. I am Elrah of Rhythmic Service, reminding you to smile your way home. Espavo.
The Grandmothers Look Through Our Eyes. Channel, Sharon McErlene. The grandmothers eyed me up and down and said, "We want to give you something useful, something beautiful, and something fun. We want to give you new eyes. You aren't yet seeing things the way they really are," they explained. "There's still some distortion, and that makes your vision not as clear as it could be. It's still a bit cloudy and limited," the grandmothers said. "But we have the cure for that. Until you grow fully into your own divine vision, we will let you see outward through our eyes. Simply call us and ask us to come in. Let us take up residence inside you and look outward from you. This won't take any effort on your part. It will be easy. Simply ask us to see through your eyes. We'll do the looking, and that way we can show you all the amazing colors and patterns out there, all the subtleties. We'll show you the way that light and love permeate the world. We'll show you the real shape of things. Everything will look different to you, we promise. It'll no longer be obscured, not limited or distorted in any way. You see," they said, giving me a look of understanding, "you've had blinders on for so long that you don't know how beautiful, how brilliant the world really is. Let us show you," they said. "Just ask us to come inside so we can take a look, and we will. Ask us to look outward at your loved ones. Ask us to look out at your problems. Ask us to look at you. Ask us to observe the world news. Ask us," they cried. "We'll do all of that and more. We're happy to do it." "There is nothing in this world that frightens us," they said. "Nothing that offends or hurts us, because we see all of it as it actually is. We see you as you are. We look outward and we see potential, love and action, light and beauty being born and coming into being. So call us in right now and ask us to have a look. We can have some fun together."